I've been spending a lot of time down the practice area at Churston, putting in the time and the effort to do some practice, and I thought today I would share with you what I do on a typical practice session, give you some hints and tips, and hopefully give you a little bit of motivation to do some practice yourself. I'm Lester Bernie Barnes, this is my YouTube channel, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Over the last 5 or 6 weeks, I've really made a conscious effort to put some time, some effort and some energy into practicing. There's no secret, the top players in the world, they practice so hard. Rick Shields was on Dan's video, on a Sunday Show video recently, and he was amazed by how much practice the top players in the world do. And there's no secret. We've heard practice makes perfect, which is absolutely rubbish. Practice makes permanent, but it's important to spend time on the practice ground if you want to improve your game. In this video, I will share with you some of the ways I practice. I will show you a typical practice session, which doesn't need to be 3 or 4 hours. It's about making good, efficient use of the time. And hopefully it'll give you a few ideas and a little bit of motivation to get yourself down to the practice area to put the time and effort into improving your golf. I've said there's no secrets to golf, and my handicap over the last 5 or 6 weeks has reduced almost, I've almost halved my handicap. So I'm down to 2.2 now, but I still feel that I've got another shot and a half that I could potentially get down before the end of the summer. But I'm trying to put in good practices now and good routines in place that I can hopefully build on 2025 and look to get the handicap down further in 2026. You'll probably be amazed that the practice session only lasts an hour in length. You've got to find a time which you're comfortable with, and for me, I've only got concentration and probably the physical body now to be able to practice and hit full shots for probably 45 minutes in total. So I'll only hit full swings for 45 minutes out of that hour session. I always start the session with doing a few stretches. They're both dynamic and static stretches. I know that you should do more dynamic than static. I'm going to probably have a few fitness instructors on here, people who know a lot more about fitness than I do, saying that what I'm doing is wrong. However, I always find this just helps me just to loosen up a little bit and get my body ready for hitting some golf balls. I also want to note as well, I do stretch regularly 2 or 3 times a week at home, so I am pretty flexible. Oh, I'm pretty sure I used to be able to touch the toes. Just about. Don't try that at home. The first little drill I do is I basically grab my most lofted club, which is my lob wedge, and then I play a few sort of half swing chip shots, pitch shots towards the 75-yard marker, which actually today is only 60 yards away. So I just hit a few shots, trying to get the strike decent, also trying to get some nice control, some nice distance, and trying to get a bit of rhythm into my golf swing. Staying with the lob wedge, the next little drill I like to do is I like to slowly increase the distance. So we pick a spot around about 40 yards away and play a little shot towards that. We then gradually increase the distance, trying to land the ball on that other ball. So trying to just get that ball past the previous ball and just slowly increasing that distance up until we sort of get into a full swing with the lob wedge. And that might be 8 to 10 balls doing that one particular drill. If I'm happy with that drill, I will continue with the practice session. If I don't quite like it, I'm not quite striking the ball, not too pleased with the rhythm of my swing or where the ball's landing, and I'm not happy, I will repeat that at least once more just to try and get myself into a nice groove to actually get into hitting more fuller shots. The next stage will be to grab out my gap wedge, either my 50 or 54, and then I will hit it at say 90%, aiming at a particular target. Today the 125 is bang on 100 yards, which is absolutely perfect for me, so I'll be hitting it towards that marker, just trying to get some good rhythm again, not swinging it at 100%. I think that's important, just working on the strike, getting my body and my limbs and my arms and everything working nicely, and also to feel comfortable then to hit some longer shots. The next stage is where I introduce a bit of theory or something I maybe been working on a past lesson, or something that I feel that I need to work on after evaluating the round that I've just played or a couple of rounds before. This particular time I'm trying to work on actually creating a bit of width in the backswing. So you'll see me do a couple of different drills, but I'll be hitting 7-iron now. So 7 or 6-iron, sort of middle iron club at the 150 yard marker as my target, but obviously going a little bit further than that. So I'll hit sort of 15 to 20 shots at that particular target. Continuing with the theme of working on the golf swing, I'll start to introduce some longer shots, and I'll probably grab my 4 or my 2-iron out and hit that, you know, round about 200 yards, 90% swings, trying to keep that rhythm nice, still trying to work on that swing, but obviously with a less forgiving golf club. Then I'll move on to my 5-wood, which I'll hit some off the deck, some off the tee as well. I'll just work on a little bit of shape on that. I like to move that right to left, but I also like to have that left to right flight in there as well. So I will work on playing a nice little shape, seeing what particular swing I've got on the day, because I can hit it left, I can hit it right. If I'm not swinging it well, I tend to play a little fade. So I'll just be working on a little bit of ball flight as well. I'll hit that off the, like I said, off the tee, off the deck as well, and we'll hit sort of 20 balls hitting that 5-wood. Finally, I'll finish by hitting the big dog. I'll get the driver out, tee it different heights, place a few little different shots, but I'll hit 10 shots with a driver, no more than that. In a round of golf, you would hit it a lot less than 10 shots, even if you're someone who pulls the driver out on most par 4s and most par 5s. It will be sort of 10, 12, 13 times it'll get hit. When I play golf, I hit that a lot less. If I hit it once or twice a round during the summer, maybe 4 or 5 times during the winter. So I do less practice concentrating on that golf club. It is an area of my game which I've sort of highlighted to work on next year. I'll have some lessons specifically designed around becoming a better driver of the ball and hitting driver more often and being more confident with that club in my hands. But at the moment, as I'm not hitting it much, I won't dedicate too much practice time to that one particular club. Now I've hit through the bag, there's one game that I like to really finish with, and it's one that I've used all throughout my playing life, and that will be to imagine the golf course I'm playing next. So today I'm playing Churston after I've done this practice session, so I'm going to actually play the front 9, and that might sound ridiculous, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick each club that I think I'm going to hit off each particular tee, work on where the strike's gone, the shape, you can see that at the practice area, which is great, and then hit the club that I think I'll have to hit into that green. So I can work through the bag that way, work through the 9 holes and play the front 9. If I've got time, I'll play the back 9 as well, and that just sort of gets me in the right frame of mind to approach the golf course and have a bit of a plan. I think that's important when you play, is to have a plan and know what you're going to do, and just to get yourself more into that sort of game environment, which for me is so important. That particular practice session has lasted just over an hour. It's an hour and 6 minutes, which is a fraction longer than normal, but I put that down to the use of the camera. So I would just say at this stage as well, if you are practicing and you've given yourself an hour slot, probably give yourself an hour and 15, particularly if you've got a round of golf straight after, or you've got an appointment, or you're rushing off to do something, because the session won't always last exactly that hour. It might finish slightly earlier, but a lot of the time it will run slightly over for various reasons. Here I've got to pick golf balls up, so I'm hitting, I'm picking. The amount of times I pick the balls up will vary depending on how busy the range is. I might have to wait while people pick balls up as well. So an hour session realistically will last 1 hour 15, maybe even an hour and a half at times. So just bear that in mind when designing your own particular practice session. Just want to state as well that it doesn't really matter, like there's no right or wrong to this. Like I'm just giving you my guide and how I find it most efficient to practice and what works best for me. You might find half an hour session is long enough, 45 minutes is long enough. You might vary what you do. I mean, Tiger has got a routine that he completely sticks to, with the amount of balls per each club and what he does, and I'll stick his little routine maybe up here somewhere or on the actual screen so you can have a little look at that. And there will be people that will do lots of different things. I would love to hear in the comments section how you practice, how long you spend practicing, And is there any particular drills or anything you work on, and how many balls do you hit in that particular session? So remember to hit those into the comment section. I've also recently, not only have I got the facilities here at Churston to practice and hit golf balls, I'm sort of 10 to 12 miles away to live in Newton Abbot to Churston, so it's not always possible to drive over here for a quick hour and then back. Realistically, that's going to be 2 to 3 hours. So I've just joined Torquay Range. If you do join a range and you have that option, you get balls at discounted price. And I suggest if you're practicing or intending to practice hard, then getting discounted balls or finding a grass facility with no charge is an absolute necessity. And I'm very lucky here that I can use this facility for nothing. Like I said, I've joined Torquay so I can use their range and get discounted balls if I'm over in Torquay. I've also joined or paid for a number of balls at Bovey Tracy driving range because I live over Newton Abbot, so I'm halfway between sort of Torquay and Bovey. So if I'm over that way as well, I've got the option of quickly popping in and hitting some balls as well. They're all 3 different facilities. They've all got the advantages. Torquay, for example, can't hit driver. It's only like 170 yards. Realistically, this time of year, you're hitting 7-iron downwards. Here you can hit driver when the marker is back, and I do go right the way back here behind me, hit balls. Bother, you can hit whatever you want. The balls aren't quite as good as what I'm using here myself, and also the Torquay range have got newer balls. So there's always pluses and minuses to every practice facility, but any facility you can use, and if you can put that time and effort into, it will make a massive difference.